Namaskar. Today we will discuss the second part of unit 4, that is centrifugation. In this lecture we will discuss about what is centrifugation, that is basics of centrifugation, its objective, principle and applications of centrifugation. Besides that, we will also come to know that what are the various equipments that can be used for centrifugation process. So, centrifugation. What is centrifugation? It is a process of separation of constituents present in a dispersion, or we can say that suspension. That means, both the components are separated out by the use of or by application of centrifugal force, then the process is called as centrifugation. Simply, it is a unit operation employed for the purpose of separation of constituents. Which constituents? Those constituents that are present in dispersion with the aid of centrifugal force. That means, by using centrifugal force, if we are applying the principle of separation of particles, that means, we are separating the particles from a mixture, dispersion, suspension, or from mixture of two immiscible liquids, then the process is called as centrifugation, and the equipment which are used for separation process are called as centrifuge. So, in this case slurry is fed into the equipment, that is centrifugation equipment. As you see in the diagram, from here slurry is fed into the equipment, solid particles are separated out and it is on the another side, and on other side the liquid part is present. So, both the solids and liquids are separated out with the help of from the slurry with the help of centrifugal force. So, the process that is involved in this separation is called as centrifugation. In case of liquid feed also, or two immiscible liquids also, both the liquids can be separated out from the mixture. So, lighter liquid fraction, it is on one side, and heavier liquid fraction, it is on other side. So, in this way separation takes place by application of centrifugal force. From the bottom you see the direction of arrow, that means, in this direction the apparatus is moving. So, with a high speed. Objective of centrifugation, it is used to separate immiscible solids, solids and liquids from solution according to their size, shape, density and viscosity of the medium along with rotor speed. The separation here in case of centrifugation depends upon the size of the particle, shape of the particle, density of the particle, viscosity of the medium and rotor speed. That means, at the speed at which the equipment centrifugation equipment is moving. It is also used for separating the materials which are present in milk sample by spinning it in centrifuge at lower speed as well as at higher speed. So, the different materials which are present in milk can also be separated by using the principle of centrifugation. Now, applications of various centrifugation process. First one, it is used in the production of bulk drugs. So, what happens after crystallization, drugs are separated from the mother liquor by which process? By the process of centrifugation. Example, traces of mother liquor is separated from aspirin crystal. So, this is a example in which that is after crystallization the aspirin crystals are formed along with the mother liquor, and both these crystals as well as liquors can be separated by the using the principle of centrifugation. Okay. Second application is production of biological products. So, since most of the biological products which are present are either proteinous in nature or macromolecules. Okay. So, due to this proteinous nature or macromolecules, these biological products can be separated out by the application of principle of centrifugation. So, what happens during manufacturing, these substances remains in colloidal dispersion in water. So, in similar way blood cells are also separated from plasma by using this centrifugal method. So, these are some applications of centrifugation. Some more applications, that is evaluation of suspension and emulsions. So, suspension and emulsions have different stability problems. So, due to those stability problems, by the use of this centrifugation, that can be checked or evaluated. Same as the major problem that is associated with suspension is sedimentation. The particles get settled at the bottom, and with emulsion the major problem is creaming, that means separating out of both the layers, that is oily layer as well as aqueous layer. So, to enhance this the rate of sedimentation and creaming, the suspension or emulsion is introduced into the centrifuge, and it is rotated at a rate of 200 to 3000 rpm, that means 200 to 3000 revolutions per minute. The centrifuge is rotated, and this rate of sedimentation as well as creaming of suspension and emulsion takes place respectively. Next application is determination of molecular weight of the colloids. The molecular weight of macromolecules like protein can be determined by ultracentrifugation process. Okay. Some more applications of centrifugation in biopharmaceutical analysis of drugs. The principle of centrifugations can also be applied for this biopharmaceutical analysis. Then fat is removed from milk to produce skim milk. From urine components and blood components in different forensic and research laboratories can be separated out by using the principle of centrifugation also. Then purification of mammalian cells can be done. So, these are various types of applications of centrifugation process. Now, principles of centrifugation. So, particles having size above 5 micrometer. So, those particles having size above 5 micrometer sediments at the bottom due to gravitational force. Which force? Due to gravitational force, these particles are settled down at that means the particles having above the size above 5 micrometer, they settle down at the bottom of the container due to gravitational force. Such suspensions can be separated by simple filtration techniques. Okay. So, for this type of suspensions, simple filtration technique is sufficient to separate out the solid particles. But if the size of the particles are less than 5 micrometer. Okay. If size is less than 5 micrometer, then they undergoes Brownian motion, that means zigzag movement of particles takes place. So, in such cases centrifugal force is applied to separate the particles. So, there are two things we have to remember. First one, if particle size is above 5 micrometer, then the particles can be separated by simple filtration techniques. If particle size is below or less than 5 micrometer, then centrifugal force is the more prominent way of separating the particles. Why we are using centrifugal force to separate the particles having size less than 5 micrometer? Due to Brownian motion of the particles. So, question may arise in this case, how why you are using we are using centrifugal force to separate the particles of size less than 5 micrometer. Let us consider mass, that means this is the centrifuge tube which is rotating. So, let us consider a body of mass m, that is mass m rotating in a circular path. The radius of rotation is r and at a velocity of v. Okay. So, the force which is acting on the body in radial direction. So, the force which is acting on the body in this direction, that is radial direction, that force is given by F is equal to mv square upon r. Okay. So, this is the force which applies on the body, where F is equal to the centrifugal force, m as discussed earlier, mass of the body, v velocity of body, and r is the radius of this circle of rotation. Now, the gravitational force is also acting upon the same body. Centrifugal force is acting as well as gravitational force is also acting on the same body. So, that G is equal to small m small g, where capital G is known as gravitational force and small g is known as acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So, applying this thing into the first equation. So, the centrifugal effect is the ratio of centrifugal force as well as gravitational force. That means, C is equal to F upon G. We know that F is equal to mv square by r, okay, and G is equal to m into G. So, combining these two equations, in this equation the centrifugal effect is given as v square by G r. So, C is equal to F by G, that is equal to v square by G r. Now, again from the previous slide you have derived the equation C is equal to v square upon G r, where v is the velocity at which the object is moving. So, since it is moving in circular direction, so v is equal to 2 pi r n, where n is equal to the speed of rotation, that means revolutions per minute at what speed the centrifuge is moving. So, again putting the value of v in this equation. So, equation changes to C is equal to F I G, in place of v we are putting the value 2 pi r n whole square upon G r. Okay. So, from this the equation changes to 4 pi square r square n square upon g r. Okay. From this we can write it as a 2 into r into 2 pi square r n square upon g r. So, this can be written as 2 pi square into 2 r into n square upon g r. So, from here r are cancelled, 2 r, that means 2 into r, that is equal to d. D is equal to the diameter of this rotation. So, from this the capital D is equal to the maximum diameter of the centrifuge. So, putting the value of 2 r is equal to d in this equation, the equation changes to 2 pi square d n square upon g. So, this is equal to small k d n square. So, finally, C is equal to k d n square. Now, d can be measured from the center of the centrifuge to the free surface of the liquid or to the tip of the centrifuge tube. That means, this is, we can say that the diameter at which the object is moving or rotating. So, in this way we can determine the centrifugal effect. So, from the previous equation, as it has been obtained that C is equal to k d n square. So, from this equation it is concluded that centrifugal effect is directly proportional to the diameter of centrifuge, number 1 point. Number 2 point, it is again directly proportional to the speed of rotation, also square of speed of rotation. So, this, that means, as the diameter of centrifuge increases, centrifugal effect also increases. Similarly, if we will increase the speed of rotation also, then also centrifugal effect increases, which leads to the more prominent separation of particles. Now, application of this principles of centrifugation. If the particles which are present in suspension are very small, that means, there are smaller sized particles present in suspension, then in those cases high centrifugal effect is required to separate the particles. To separate such suspension, the size of centrifuge is kept smaller, but it is rotated at very high speed. So, there is a condition, if the particles which are present in suspension are small, in that case we have to apply high centrifugal effect. So, to apply high centrifugal effect, the size of the centrifuge is kept smaller, but it is rotated at a very high speed. So, in this condition is followed, then only the particles can be separated by this process, that is smaller sized particle can be separated from the suspension or from the liquids by applying the principle of centrifugation. If large amount of material is present which is to be separated, so we need a low centrifugal effect. So, if low centrifugal effect is sufficient to separate the suspension, then the diameter of the centrifuge is increased and speed is kept low. So, in both the cases what we are doing, there is a difference. If particle size is small, then high centrifugal effect is needed. If particles amount of particles present in the slurry is more, then low centrifugal effect is needed. To increase the centrifugal effect, we have to increase the speed of rotation, as well as we have to keep the diameter of the centrifuge to a smaller size. And to, in case of low centrifugal effect, we have to decrease the size of the speed of rotation, as well as we have to increase the size of the centrifuge also. So, in that way both the types of high centrifugal effect and low centrifugal effect can be achieved, and the particles can be separated out. Now, let us have a equipment which are used, we can say that centrifuge, perforated basket centrifuge. This is used for the separation of particles. So, first centrifuge that we are going to study is perforated basket centrifuge. So, this is a filtration type centrifuge. In this case, the separation is performed through perforated wall, through perforated walls, and the separation is based on the density of solid and liquid phase both. So, basing on density, the particles are, or the slurry is separated, that means solids are separated out and the liquids are separated out. Now, the construction of this perforated centrifuge, this is the direction of rotation of centrifuge. On the side walls of centrifuge there is a perforation, that means holes are there. Okay. So, above this perforated wall, a filter cloth is present on both the sides. There is an assembly for closing the lid of the centrifuge tightly. Okay. So, this is the different parts of this perforated basket centrifuge. It is a type of bottom operated perforated basket centrifuge. This is actually a diagram of perforated basket centrifuge. You see the walls of centrifuge is perforated, that means there are holes which are present in the walls of the centrifuge. Construction again continues. In this case, it consists of a rotating basket which is placed on a vertical shaft. As you see in the diagram, here a motor is there. This is the vertical shaft. On this vertical shaft, the basket is attached. Okay. The basket is perforated from both the sides. So, this is called as screen or perforations. Okay. The sides of baskets are perforated, as it has been explained. It is also covered with a screen on the inner side, that means filter cloth is placed on the inner side of the this basket. Surrounding the basket there is a stationary casing that collects the filtrate. Okay. So, this portion, the filtrate is collected out, that means, and it can be collected from this liquid outlet portion. Now, the working of this perforated basket centrifuge, it is a batch type machine, that means once we have to keep the slurry inside the centrifuge, start the centrifuge, separate the liquids and solid particles, collect the filtrate, clean the centrifuge, then again you have to kept a new batch of slurry into the centrifuge. So, in this way this works. So, this equipment is called as a batch type machine. The material which is to separated is put into the basket, that means in this centrifuge the material is kept and power is applied, the basket accelerates to its maximum speed or the centrifuge accelerates to its maximum speed. Working, the particles and liquid, solid particles and liquids are thrown out by the centrifugal force, which is created due to the rotation of the centrifuge, and this particles and liquids are thrown towards the wall of the basket, or we can say that towards the perforated walls. The liquid passes out through the screen and the solid particles are retained on the screen as a deposit. After a definite time interval, what happens? The power is turned off and the basket is brought to rest, cover from the top of the basket, this lid is opened and the deposited solid is collected out from the centrifuge, and the crystals or mother liquor, in this way mother liquor is collected from the liquid outlet. In this way the crystals can be separated from the mother liquor and liquids can be clarified by removing unwanted solid dirt from the oils also. So, this is all about the perforated basket centrifuge, which can be used for separation of particles. These are the references from where I have collected. Finally, thank you.